Will anybody ever love me?
When is Jesus coming back?
Why doesn't the earth fall down?
Why is my father naked?
Should Nintendo stop making consoles?
I sort of don't see why anyone needs more consoles.
So should everyone stop making consoles?
I think maybe until something like awesome is gonna happen with a new type of console. Like really awesome.
Okay. So what would be really awesome?
Feel around?
Feel around console? What does that do?
I don't know. I just...
Tell us what feel around is.
Well, you know, when you're experiencing something on the screen, you'll experience it in real life. Like if somebody spills water on themselves, you'll get water spilled on you.
There's just a man standing there with water, right? With current feel around technology, it's just a man splashing you with water and rubbing you during rub scenes in movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be so weird to me for Nintendo to leave consoles at this point, in the same way that it's just bizarre that Sega stopped with the Dreamcast. They're one of those companies that Nintendo's been making consoles since I've been alive on this earth. To see them go away would be sad, really, more than anything. They bring a certain something that Sony and Microsoft increasingly don't, but you can always count on Nintendo, or at least it seems that way to me, always count on them to stick with games as the core. And there's something refreshing about that. Oddly enough, I think that's why I would want Nintendo to stay around. Even if I don't play every Nintendo game, which I certainly don't, I can respect their stance. And just thinking about, say, Mario on a 360 style controller, that just seems wrong to me. I can't even... I think gaming would be worse off if Nintendo stopped making consoles. They don't always make the right choices, but they're catching up. I mean, with the Wii U, they finally got into high definition, they are getting into multiplayer in some interesting ways, actually, with Miiverse and the online community stuff. The Wii U is obviously not doing as well as investors are hoping it would, but then again, how are you going to live up to the Wii immediately following that massive success?
Definitely not. Nintendo is the only company focusing on local multiplayer in both software and hardware. Mario Chase and Zombie U's local multiplayer mode are an absolute blast to play with some friends, and I don't want to see experiences like that go away from the industry. In general, they seem to be getting more rare each year as it is. Plus, if Nintendo leaves the industry, who's everyone else going to copy off of?
Nintendo should stop making hardware if they don't feel they are financially viable anymore. And yeah, the idea that Nintendo, who have been in the business maybe longer than anyone, would ever actually stop making their own dedicated hardware does seem strange. But as Atari and Sega have shown, not everyone makes hardware forever. But it's not going to be a case of Nintendo are just going to stop making hardware because people don't want them. It would be a financial decision. No, I don't think Nintendo should stop making hardware, but they need to make sure that their hardware is keeping the company afloat and they're not just kind of maybe blind to any kind of financial realities that maybe we're not privy to.
Going forward, I don't expect Nintendo to be around for long, and I mean that in every way. I don't think they're going to become a development house. I just don't see that happening with their history with Sony, and I don't see them pairing up with Microsoft easily. And they just are such a proud company internally, like a lot of Japanese companies are, that imagining them keeping the same identity if they do go into development is just so hard to believe. I'm sure Miyamoto would retire, and a lot of the key creative teams would, split up and do something else. I hope things work out. I like Nintendo games, but I think I'd like them even more with a controller that appeals to me on a console I already own with graphics that are better than the Wii U can offer. So it is in my interest for them to to stay a company and to be in development, but it's so hard to say right now. Either way, I don't think their hardware is going to last. It is what it is.
No, I don't think Nintendo should stop making home consoles. If anything, I think they're probably the company that's doing it better than anyone else from like a business perspective. I mean, they produce a console that is more affordable to produce just in general at this point. And they build great consoles, so there's no reason I think that they should back down. They've got this dedicated audience of people who are clamoring to buy their stuff, and while it's, you know, really entertaining and fun, and Lord knows I've had a lot of fun saying, oh my god, Nintendo's got no lineup for the Wii U, it doesn't really make a whole lot of difference, I think, in the grand scheme, because what Nintendo puts out, people are gonna buy. If it's a Nintendo first-party title, and if third parties don't make their nut, well, you know, that's a little bit of licensing loss for Nintendo. But if they're not really hurting on their hardware sales and they have this great following, they could have a perfectly stable and profitable cycle for this hardware. And there's no reason to think that strategy can't work for a company. It seems like a more long-term viable strategy to develop a customer base, serve that customer base, and try to find new markets to crack, but still find a way to do it that's affordable for you and affordable for the consumer. And Nintendo seems to have that nailed. So no, they can keep doing what they're doing as long as it's serving their need.